Back in 2013, when the film was first released, I did notice that the film was based on a short story, but never really got a chance to read that short story. It was only recently that I picked up The Secret Life of Walter Mitty again, and I sat down to read the short story also. And I was quite happy to discover this author because James Thurber is a wonderful cartoonist and a very light and easy writer, and his writing is really very charming. And what really took me by surprise was that the original short story is just 6 pages. It's not even 6 pages actually, it's more like 5 pages. And on the basis of this short text, a whole full length feature film was made. If you read the short story, is very nice, it's light. There's this one guy who has this habit of, just not habit actually, who just zones out at times and starts imagining something, and he's got like really hyperactive imagination. This this story did really quite strongly reminded me of one of my own books which I wrote long time back, which was called The Orange Hangover, which came out in 2012, in which there was this one character who really had a hyperactive imagination and who kept imagining stuff, and then he lands up into a case of crime and so on and so forth. Anyway, but coming back to this story, husband and wife, the husband's gone somewhere and the wife's gone somewhere, and then they're supposed to meet after a while, and then how the husband's imagination takes these huge jumps, and very interesting and very charming. But then talking about the idea of adaptations and how you can take the raw material and just create something which is based on that particular material but expands to a different level altogether. Ben Stiller's Secret Life of Walter Mitty is one of my all-time favorite movies. The film is so stylized. It is like like each and every frame of that film is like a postcard, starting from the beginning credits till the last shot. And I think I enjoy the film so much because I myself identify with the character a lot, because it happens so many times with me, and I think it must be happening with so many other people out there as well. That when you're stuck with a set of people and you are really getting bored and you don't have any kind of interest in whatever they are talking about, your mind do tend to wander, and then you start thinking about things which are completely mad, and then you start imagining stuff, and that's what the character does all the time. And it was a lot of fun to watch that. And apart from that, what I really loved about that film was also the background score, which was wonderful, and the selection of music and the songs that they had inserted in that film. The soundtrack of the film is like one of my all-time favorites, and I keep playing it over and over again. And the film is quite fast-paced, and it's actually hilarious. So if you've not watched that film, I recommend strongly to pick up that film and just watch it. And if you can get hold of this 5-page short story, I definitely think that you should sit down and read this as well. It'll just kind of like be very interesting for, I guess, everyone to see that the raw material that was there as opposed to the final product, new adaptation, this film. If one wants to analyze, understand, and peel the layers of the story and this film, it does talk about the idea of how there are certain people who've always imagined their lives to be larger than life but end up living very mundane lives, and who are not able to uh, relate, I would say, or get along well with the people around them, and then how their mind just starts jumping and goes off into a different world altogether, where things are just the way they like. So that's the kind of commentary, and that's the kind of statement that the stories kind of give. And I do find a lot of depth in that idea as well. But if you want to read the story and if you want to watch the film just as simple plain comic entertainment, I think it works absolutely fine from that point of view as well. So have you seen this film? How do you like it? Again, I'm repeating, it's one of my all-time favorite movies. And if anyone out there has read the story as well, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And we can always have a discussion in the comments below. Keep reading, guys, and keep watching. And until next time, cheers. I think it works absolutely. I think it works absolutely fine.